What's going on YouTube channel? It's Charles Downey. Again, go hard, go home. Y'all know who that is on the screen. I think most of y'all do. That's old Candace Owens, you know what I'm saying? So she's going to be talking about the Russian media openly mocking the American trade over Brittney Griner. Okay? Now, before we get into this, y'all do the thing for me. Hit the subscribe button and the likes and whatever going on. You can never ask for money, no cash apps, none of that junk. I'm going to do it over here. I'm just doing the research and experiments, and we go ahead and see what everybody got to say. Okay, over the years, we see what go on with it. But as a veteran, and I shout out to all my fellow veterans out there, I kind of agree with this woman on some of the things I think that she's gonna say in this video, because if I know her, she's a very conservative, freaking Republican type woman, you know, and yeah. So I mean, I'm gonna see what she's saying. But as a veteran of the United States military, I was in the Army for 15 years. I don't see why they left the Marines and took this lady, but I'm gonna see what she's saying about it. So let's get into it.
That last week I covered the Brittney Griner prisoner swap, the worst swap in all of history. I saw a lot of funny tweets about it. It said it was the only time in the history of America that anybody's ever paid attention to a WNBA trade. Kind of true. Don't mean to take a shot at people that do like the WNBA. It's just factual that they've never, ever in all the years that it's been a thing have they turned a profit, because women aren't that interested in basketball. But I'm glad she's playing, and I'm totally okay that she's home. I just have a problem with the fact that we traded some.
Now, while she's saying that, I want to kind of point this out. The reason Brittney was even in Russia, because they claimed they didn't get paid enough, probably because the WNBA doesn't turn that much of a profit, because women ain't watching like how men watch basketball. But she was there to make extra money and stuff like that, which was, I don't think was a good idea. I mean, like, that's fine. I mean, they can do that. Well, they don't understand the country, and they don't understand, like, don't go to certain places. It's stuff I'll talk about in later on in the video.
Somebody who was referred to as the merchant of death, Victor Bout, back to Russia in exchange for Brittney Griner, who is a pot-smoking lesbian basketball player who hates her own country. It just...
Hey. Now, I ain't gonna get on Brittney for smoking the pot, cause I'm about to do it myself. But the whole deal of it is that other stuff that, yeah, her kneeling with the anthem and all the other good shit, and then when she go there and get jacked up, she wants to save her. I'm down with that.
This is an objectively bad trade. And if you can't see that, it's because you're not very smart. That's it. You don't know how to play the game of politics. You probably know how to play the game of emotions. But she's black. She's a woman. She's a lesbian. So it's good and it's magic. It's not.
You know, and because I actually found out that Brittney Griner did the thing with the national anthem. I found that out the other day when I was at Chili's, chilling at lunchtime and just at a bar drinking and eating with some people, and we started talking about this stuff, and it came up, you know, saying that she did that, and I went and researched and found out it was like that, you know. So I mean, yeah, I mean, like, you can say that she doesn't like her country, or you can say she's not very patriotic for doing that, but to trade for her older Marines, and especially an arms dealer, when Russia's having problems with arms over there, they're having problems with that. And we just gave them somebody that's a major player in that kind of thing. So I'm going to get into it because she's saying that the Russian media is doing it. I'm going to see what she got on that.
It's stupidity. And what has this stupidity earned us? Mockery from the world. You guys, I saw this circling on social media. It is a clip from Russian television of people talking about this trade and the Russians openly mocking Americans. So obviously this is in Russian. If you're watching this video, it's fine. You can read the cap.
I said, I don't like that shit. I'm like old boy on belly. I don't like that shit. I don't like that shit. I'm ex-soldier. And the Russians talking smack. I'm finna see what they finna say though.
Options. I'm going to play only about 10 seconds of it, and then I'm just going to read you exactly what was said. Take a listen.
Конечно, меня очень позабавило, хотя не удивило, то, что обменяли Бута все-таки на Грайнер, а не на Уилна. Я, во-первых, поздравляю Бута, поздравляю всю его семью. Мы много лет были...
Okay, so that young woman, to interpret what she's saying, is she's basically talking about how, for whatever reason, America picked Brittney Griner over somebody else that the Russians had in captivity named Paul Whelan, who is a Marine. And here's what she says verbatim. She said, he is a spy. Therefore, to them, he is a hero. He is a hero, decorated Marine covered in medals. He only has three problems. The first problem is that he is white. His second problem is that he is a man. His third problem is that he is heterosexual. This is not something that can be forgiven today. It's just a catastrophe.
You know what? I said this myself after I learned about some of the stuff about Brittney Griner. Okay? Because Biden is pandering for the votes of three groups with his trade. Three groups, he just mentioned them. Black, woman, LGBTQ. That's why he left a decorated Marine over there and took her instead. And that's racist as hell to me. That's racist. He's white, and that's racist. I mean, like, dog, you don't help. First off, you don't help your own kind, and then here's the thing too. You had, for Victor, they would have gave up the other people. He could have pushed that. Dude just weak. But let's keep going.
Yes, here, Griner beats him in every aspect. American voters were given a choice: a hero who suffered while serving his fatherland, a medal-covered hero who suffered during his service to his fatherland, the United States, or a black lesbian hooked on drugs who suffered for a vape with hashish. And well known, for the sake of PR, American voters are choosing the obvious. Just open mockery there. And they're laughing throughout this.
She ain't lying. She ain't lying. And a lot of other Americans don't understand that a lot of other countries laugh at us. They hate our damn culture. They hate our culture. I've been to other countries. I've been to these other places. You know what I'm saying? They ain't trying to live like you. People think that America, because you get pumping that propaganda here, but you don't. It's not how the rest of the world sees you. And they're laughing at you for this trade right here. Just to let y'all know.
It's just like, ha, 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 so funny. This is just America for you. We gave them an option that they should have gone with, obviously, get the Marine back on American soil, but they just went with, PR reasons. All they care about is feeling good and not actually doing good. So we are being mocked, and that's not it, by the way. Victor Bout, the merchant of death himself, had this to say when he was asked about the trade.
То, что происходит на Западе, это просто самоубийство цивилизации.
So I will tell you exactly what that says. I'll transcribe it. He says, what's happening in the West is simply the suicide of civilization. And if this suicide isn't prevented, at the very least, outside the Western world, in the world not controlled by Anglo-Saxons, then the entire planet will commit suicide, This is probably happening in all areas. Drugs, and what's it called in Russian? The LGBTQ+. Can you imagine that in American schools, they're now teaching first graders, 6 and 7-year-old first graders, that it turns out there are 72 genders. Not just, gay people and regular people, but 72.
And Victor Bout said that. I covered it in another video. Biden loses the bout. See, then I didn't know this stuff about Griner and her and not kneeling for the doggone flag and all the other good stuff and everything else. In that video, I was a little less harsh than I am now, but I'm saying they should have left that broad there and took the Marine. That Joe took the charge for the country. And one thing I'm sick of with Americans, y'all think y'all just go to other places and just not follow their rules. I saw this a lot in the Army because she She tried to show them her medical card and all that. They ain't give a fuck about that. When you go to other countries, they rules damn apply. I personally had to try to deal with this shit because people go to other countries and think they can just break the damn law. I had a dude, one of my soldiers in Korea, to drink a fucking fifth of 151 Bacardi 151 in under an hour, and went out and doggone it into the Korean economy and started doing all kind of shit. Man, please, dude. Homeboy is about to be in the doggone. He lucky we was able to get some help from the embassy. Get him out of that junk. His brother's about to be in a doggone cell over there in Korea eating kimchi and rice for the rest of his life. But I'm just gonna go ahead with that. See, Americans is a little bit too privileged around here. They live in this country and they better stay here because they don't understand that in other countries they enforce their freaking rules. They are not playing with you. Griner would have died in that doggone cap. She couldn't handle that shit. The Marine, you know what? Maybe it's better than leaving the Marine because he was trained and he can handle that shit. But them harsh conditions, it's cold out there now. That girl would have died over there probably. Anyway, here we go.
Yeah. Victor Bout, that is the truth. And to the young woman who was openly mocking us, she's telling the truth. This is how your country is being viewed from the outside world. And you should know that. You should think about this and think about how it limits us on the world stage, how we are no longer being taken seriously and people are watching this corrosion, mocking this corrosion, and yet you have people that are within the inside that don't have the courage to call it out, that are celebrating it. These are weak men. Right now, we are being led by weak men into a long period of darkness. And the only way that we can add light to that is to be aware of it and to make sure that we stand up to it and that within our own personal capacities and within our own households, we don't allow it to take place. Another way that we do that is by screaming the truth louder than they can scream the lies, as I always say, right? So when somebody tells you that your child could pick their gender, you be sure to tell them, no the hell they cannot. The next portion of the show is available exclusively on Daily Wire Plus only. I'll read those comments, answer your questions. If you're not a member yet, go ahead and click the link in the description and subscribe right now.
Okie dokie. So, yeah, that is, and she spit some facts. You just hand these jokers back a doggone major dealer and all this other good thing. And like it's that jump was kind of garbage. Now that I'm looking at it for real, I didn't handle it as harshly as I should have in my last one. They should have the ass there. They couldn't get them both, but we ain't taking none. But she's right about that. This is some of the stuff that's happening in America. And people do got to be aware of it. So that's why I'm kind of putting it out there. Y'all just been tossed down and go hard to go home again. You know what I'm saying? Y'all drop the comments, let me know what y'all think. And y'all hit up old girl and subscribe to her channel. So I think that was pretty decent. So I'm out of here, y'all. It's been tossed down. We going hard, we going home. Y'all hit the subscribe button for me. Peace.